You get on thinking you're gonna study for your next exam, but when you come back home, your mom tells you to go to the shops, and then when you come back, you have to mow the lawn. And when you're finally done, you go to your room to study. You stare at the ceiling until you go to sleep because you don't know what to do. That's probably your life right now. But I'm a grade 9 student with 9 since my last mocks. And this causes a lot of people to ask, how bro? How do you study when everything's literally against you? Even your cat is against you. And so on behalf of the poor cat, I'm gonna share my 5-step system to all 9's at GCSE for free, and a bonus tip if you watch to the end. The first step to a great system is to know what you want. If you have a clear goal, then you can stay motivated. The reason is because if you know exactly what you want, you know what you're aiming for, you know what you want to achieve, it's more tangible, you can feel it, you can track your progress, you always know that there's something making you always know there's something that you're aiming for. But you also need to be specific and realistic. Instead of aiming for a vague goal like, oh, I want to improve my grades, that has no value, so you're just gonna forget it. But if you have a goal like, oh, I want to go up by 5 marks in chemistry paper 1, for example, or I want to complete English paper 1 question 5 in 30 minutes, in 40 minutes, you're more likely to achieve it because it has value. It's something that you can resonate with. Just make sure your goals are progressive and achievable. For example, I got 95 out of 100 in physics paper 1, and one of the reasons why I could do this was because when I was still hitting 50 over 100, I had a goal of 60 over 100, then 70 over 100, then 80 over 100. You get the point. This shows progression because I don't just stop when I achieve my goal. I keep aiming for higher and higher and higher, and I aim for the one that I know it was going to be hard, but I could achieve it. Just remember, goals are meant to be flexible, not set in stone. Once you know what you want, now you need to plan to achieve it effectively. A weekly schedule really helps for this because it creates time out of nowhere. So let's imagine you're Emma. You love to play video games, you love to watch SpongeBob, you love to go out, but you've got chores to do, you've got homework to do, you have to mow the lawn. And so you try to fit everything in one day because you love SpongeBob. But you realize you can't because you've only got 24 hours in a day. That's too much stuff to be able to do it in a single day. And so you decide to watch SpongeBob on Monday, do your homework on Tuesday, do your chores on Wednesday, and so on. If you didn't do this, you're just gonna end up feeling overwhelmed because you're human and you can't deal with so much stuff in little time. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't have enough time to create a study schedule. But it's not too hard to do. Literally, one thing you can do is download Task. It's an app I use, or Notion, which is the more advanced one. And at the beginning of each week, write out the task you want to complete on each day and put a deadline on it. This is a way to start because now you can get more organized. Also, you want to include breaks to avoid burnout. Speaking of breaks, you really need it. Take for example, you go to the gym and you just did 20 reps of pull-ups, and then straight after, no break, you go and do 20 bicep curls, 15 kg on each arm. It's not gonna happen. You didn't let your muscles relax, recharge, and process the information of doing 20 pull-ups. It's just not gonna happen. And it's a similar process with your brain. You're human, so you need time to recharge. Your brain needs time to recharge and process the information you gained after studying. Breaks also play a key role in avoiding burnout, which is the enemy of students. Just remember, if you're ever feeling stuck, taking a short break can be the key to getting your answer. And remember, breaks don't mean TikTok. Breaks mean lowly stimulating actions which do not require too much effort, like literally just staring at the sun, not at the sun, at the sky for a bit. Okay, let me bring you to a time in my life when I studied for 5 hours for my literature exam. But when I got my result back, I remember opening up the letter and then I checked in. I looked at literature because I knew that I studied a lot for it. I studied hard for it. And then the number 3 was staring at me. I got a 3. After all my efforts, all my time, all the work that I put in, yet I only got a 3. I was devastated. But when I did this one thing, it took me 2 grades up. 2 grades. One thing, 2 grades. That's a great deal if you tell me. And surprisingly, not many people do it. No one ever does it. And now, I'm currently on a grade 8 in literature. That one thing is to use your teachers and their feedback. Not just the teachers, you need the feedback too. Not only do they know what you need to do to get the high grades, but they can give you for free. So what are you waiting for? You need to start. For example, the best example is probably English literature and language. Do the questions at home, do the past papers at home, give it to your teachers to mark for you, and they'll mark it. They'll gladly take any extra work on their holidays. Trust me, my teacher does. And so give it to them and they'll mark it to you and give you feedback. The next step is to get your ducks in a row. Not literally, obviously. If you have ducks, and get them in a row. Yeah. If you have ducks as pets, you live in a cool life, I guess. It just means to be tidy, have a tidy organization. Being tidy really helps because you don't have to keep looking for that one missing note, that one missing thing that you were meant to study, but you can't find it. I recommend getting folders because they really help. You can put all your revision material in each folder, and that really helps because then you don't get things lost easily. You also need to be mentally organized. And you can do this by studying the right way, not rereading the textbook, not copying out notes. If you spend more than 20%, 30% of your time, of your revision time, writing notes, especially if your exam's pretty near, then you are wasting your time, my good friend. You need to start getting better at studying effectively. And if you like to do that, click this video. Now the bonus tip: eat the frog. Eating the frog simply means to do the hard task first. You can get rid of that big thing that you don't want to do. If you do it first, you don't have to come back to it. I mean, think about it logically. Would it be better to eat the frog before dinner or after dinner? Well, drop your answer in the comments and don't forget to subscribe or I will feed you that frog.